I'm Braden Taylor, and this is Netflix and Kill. Here we discuss murder mysteries and cold case documentaries found on Netflix. We discuss the cases and the facts provided by the shows. On today's show, we'll be discussing the documentaries Night Stalker, Conversations with the Criminal, and Hunt for the Zodiac Killer. Today we are joined by my co-host, Kiara Ellsworth.
Hello everyone, it's great to be here.
So Kiara, what are your thoughts on the Night Stalker documentary and Richard Ramirez?
Well, Braden, the show is very insightful but also very graphic. As for my thoughts on Richard Ramirez, he's definitely an interesting killer.
I see. So what made Richard Ramirez popular enough to get his own documentary?
Well, Ramirez was a serial rapist and murderer who broke into the homes at night to commit his crimes. He terrorized the people of California, and his crimes were violent and very disturbing. He had killed 13 people, men and women alike.
Wow, that's disturbing. Is there anything else we should know?
Actually, yes. Ramirez, along with being a serial killer, was also an avid devil worshipper and Satanist. While in the courtroom, he had drawn a pentagram on his hand, and even drawing pentagrams and other satanic things at the crime scenes.
That is very terrifying. How did he get caught?
That's actually the best part. He only became a suspect due to a pair of shoes. They were the only pair in that size and color ever sold in California. He would have been caught sooner, but DNA testing had not been used in practice yet.
To think, if DNA testing had been good as it is today, he would have been caught much sooner.
So true. And when we return, Ted Bundy and Conversations with a Criminal.
The Huot Career and Technical Center is now accepting applications for the upcoming school year. If you are a student from Belmont, Franklin, Guilford, Interlakes, Laconia, or Newfound High School, you need to check out all the Huot has to offer. At the Huot, you have access to the latest technology and experienced instructors who can help turn your career goals into reality. To learn more, visit the center at our upcoming open house, Thursday, March 16th from 4 to 6 p.m. Huot Technical Center, your future starts here.
Welcome back. Now on to the next Netflix show, Conversations with a Criminal, the Ted Bundy tapes.
The documentary is very fascinating, as well as being quite graphic. It was quite unsettling. As for Ted Bundy, he was quite smart. His knowledge definitely helped him with his killings later.
Interesting. Why do you think his intelligence helped in his killings?
Bundy committed most of his crimes in broad daylight, meaning he had to be smart about how he kidnapped his victims. He could draw attention to himself by just grabbing the girl. His intelligence played a big part in his killings.
I can see how that degree would come in handy. Now, who are his victims?
Well, you see, Kiara, Bundy's usual victims were college girls that resembled an ex-girlfriend he had. He pretended to be injured to gain their trust. Then he would kidnap them. He was a twisted individual who admitted to killing 36 women during the 1970s.
Wow. But if he was so smart, how did he get caught?
It started with women disappearing from the town where he attended law school. This was the start of linking him to much worse crimes. Then he was arrested and escaped twice. After a second escape from his hole in his cell's ceilings, he attacked 4 sorcery girls, killing 2 of them. He also kidnapped and murdered a 12-year-old girl before he was finally captured and linked to these murders along with the bite marks he left.
For such a smart guy, he made more than a few mistakes, didn't he? But now we have our street reporter Shannon tuning in with an interview for us discussing someone who made no mistakes that we are aware of.
Thank you, Kiara. I'm here today with Mac.
Hi, everybody.
So, I have a question for you. Do you like shows about serial killers or murder mysteries?
I would definitely say I like them to, a normal fair extent.
Which one was your favorite?
I would definitely say the Zodiac Killer. I feel like he is just so interesting in the sense that he, for years, he hasn't gotten caught yet. He hasn't gotten caught since, and he was able to trick and taunt the police.
Absolutely. He was crazy smart. What do you think about the Zodiac Killer, Braden?
Thank you, Shannon. The Zodiac Killer is a very interesting case. The show Hunt for the Zodiac Killer is definitely a great show to learn more about this killer. It is a
great show, and for a killer who terrorized the people of San Francisco Bay Areas for years, it is a shocker there aren't more. The killer had been attributed to the killings of at least 5 people between the years of 1968 and 1969.
Yeah, but there were arguments that he continued his kills all the way through the 1980s. What's really shocking is the fact that this killer would call and write to the police, as well as newspapers.
Precisely, the killer would take credit by calling law enforcement and would send encoded messages to taunt the police. This killer was so confident and didn't make any mistakes, they terrorized people everywhere.
I know I would be scared, but even years later, there are still people looking over the facts or the case trying to solve it. There are also people trying to solve the ciphers that weren't solved.
People are really interested in trying to figure out what he said. There are all kinds of websites and blogs that have documented people's attempts to decode the ciphers.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you for talking with me about these cases.
You're welcome.
That's all we have for you today. Join us next week on Netflix and Kill.